Mackenzie, and today I'll be reading from the book Caddie, Woodlawn. Chapter 7, Attic Magic, page 79. How dreadful it would be if the circuit rider should return and find his clock unmended. Caddie turned the clock thoughtfully in her hands. She had seen Father mend so many of them. Of course, they were not all alike inside, but she knew how the little screws came out and how the back came off. And then, inside he saw all of the fascinating wheels and gimcracks. Why shouldn't she mend it herself? She was sure that she could. She sat down with her back against the chimney and began to loosen the screws. It was more of a task than she had supposed. But Father's tools were there on the shelf, and she found a screwdriver of just the size she needed. The back came off, revealing the wheels and springs. Caddie knew enough about clocks to see what was the matter. The circuit rider had wound his clock too tightly, and in some way the spring had caught so that it could not unwind as it should have done. Caddie looked it over carefully. Then she began to loosen the screws, which held it in place. She had to loosen several before she found the right ones. Time slipped away unhealed. She was so deeply absorbed in the clock. Her cheeks were flushed, and her face bent low over her work was curtained by her dangling curls. And then, at last, she loosened the right spool. Whiz! Bang! The spring flew out with a whir and hit the low ceiling. Screws and cogwheels flew in every direction. It was like an explosion. The circuit rider's clock had suddenly flown to pieces. Caddie uttered a cry of despair and looked wildly around her. What would Father say? Thanks for watching.